What? It did it. Oh my goodness. This is literally the only time I've had no technical difficulties from the beginning. So that's bananas. Okay. Today, by the way, I have, you can kind of see it. I have like the door open, so my cats may or may not join. Actually, one of my cats is right here. So if I get distracted, just know it's because of them. I'm hoping that they don't come up here because I filmed this on top, like I have puzzle boxes stacked and then like the laptop on top, and currently I'm working on a puzzle, so low-key they'd kind of mess it up, so I really hope that they don't come up here. But I can't get too upset about what? I can't get too upset at them if they do, because I let them in here. It's a table. It's technically my fault, you know, so whatever. Okay. This is episode 6? Yeah. We're on 6. We're on 6. That's low-key bananas. We've been doing this for 6 weeks. What? Technically 5 because of that 1 week when I skipped it. Not my business. I don't know what happened. Don't ask me. So this one was called Building a Relationship, and I have the best, most beautiful news ever about this episode. Boston wasn't in it. Boston didn't do anything this episode. It was like he was never there. Best news I could have ever been given. Oh, look, you can see my cat's tail in the back. Look at him. I hope he doesn't jump up there. I won't like that too much. Oh well. So yeah, Boston did actually. Okay. It's like she heard me say that and then went up there to mess with me. It's okay. I really hope she doesn't. I'm gonna try to stop. Okay. We're fine. No, yeah, we're good. See, because she's climbing down. I'm so scared. She's my trouble cat, so she worries me sometimes. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. It's been 3 minutes and I've barely talked about the show like at all. So I think this one, honestly, there is like minimal intermixing between the couples if I'm so for real in the club. So I am just gonna go by couple if I'm so for real. I'll go with least eventful to most. Okay, ball. This is gonna sound bananas. Our least eventful one was Dean and Jack, technically. Yo, that's like crazy because they are low-key our main ones. So the episode begins with it showcasing to us that Dean did what he said he would. He's getting his followers. He told Jack, he was like, I'm gonna get the followers so I can keep being the lead in the play because this double casting thing is absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. I almost said a bad word and I didn't, so be proud of me. And then as we know, Jack is not like happy about this since it is Dean getting followers through being shipped with Arnold, and he's not happy about it, but he won't really admit to it because why do that, you know? Why? You don't. That's the answer. You don't because only losers properly communicate and talk about their feelings. Yeah. Ugh, whatever. So it's they're practicing for like the play or whatever, and Dean and Arnold are practicing a scene where I guess at the end of the scene they're supposed to kiss. The chemistry is good. They're doing great. It seems like it'll be sick. Yeah. Right before the kiss is about to happen, Jack makes him stop. And then he starts complaining. And he's telling them, he's like, I don't feel the chemistry at all. The chemistry here sucks. Like, you guys aren't making me feel anything. Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yo, you're tweaking, dog. Because we feel the chemistry. Like, we feel like we did great. And actually, this is the most chemistry we have felt this whole time. What are you talking about? And then... What? My cat meowed at me. I have to respond. And... Dean makes a comment about it, and he's like, well, then how do you want us to kiss? Like, show us. Like, what do you want? What do you want if this isn't good enough? And Jack responds by just making out with Dean in front of all of them. Girl, what are we doing? What are we doing? Whatever. Everyone's kind of just watching, and they're like, okay, cool. And then Jack makes a comment about, like, this is what I want. And then he storms off. He leaves. And Dean follows him. And I was like, girl, what was that? So I guess rehearsal's over. Rehearsal's done. Whatever. Who cares? And then Jack's outside. He's about to start smoking a cigarette, which, real girl, smoke your cigarette. But Dean stops him and he starts talking to him, and he kind of asked him, he was like, what was that? Like, are you... Dude. What are we doing? Oh my god. Sorry. He has no thoughts in his little head, so he's just there to look pretty. So he sketches me out in that realm. And they're like talking, and he like questioned like what that was, and then he questioned if Dog was jealous, and he's like, no, I'm not. Like, why would I be? Why would I? I'm fine. Who cares? Not me. Whatever. And Dean goes to give him a kiss, and he's like, no, like, people can see us. Saying that like he did just kiss Dog in front of the entire cast and crew, but that's not my business. Whatever. Who cares? Whatever. And so later on, they're doing a rehearsal a different day. And apparently our main leads, Sir, Dean, and Arnold, are an hour late. And Timmy's like, dude, no, like, they're coming, like, trust. Like, they said they'd be like half an hour late. And Jack's like, it's been an hour. And Timmy's like, it's good, like, it's fine, like, I'll go find them, I'll go get them, don't even worry about it. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go get them myself. I'm gonna go find and get them myself. They're not about to do this right now. And by the way, I want you to know with confidence, in this moment, everyone's a little upset because Dean refuses for any part of rehearsal to happen without the two leads there. And Raffi chimes in and he's like, well, you know, I could start practicing with like someone else since he's technically supposed to be one of the Romeos. And he's like, no, we need them both here. And then he leaves. Raffi's very upset. He's very upset. So he goes and he finds them, and what they're doing, by the way, this is what makes it low-key crazy that he's so upset. They're filming sponsored content, and the sponsored content is literally for the play. It's how they're supposed to pay for stuff so that the play can go on. Whatever, not my business, I guess. Yeah, he shows up. He's complaining off rip, and the director for the sponsored content is like, okay, like, come on, we gotta go back, like, you guys need to finish, we need to film more. And Jack chimes in and he's like, no, I need them to come to rehearsal, they're late, blah blah blah. Like, there's no point in making sponsored content if I can't do the rehearsals for my play, and then my play can't happen. And then the director chimes back. He eats him up with this one. He lets him know. He's like, okay, and you can't afford to pay for anything without the sponsored content. So, what's it gonna be? And Dean like ushers Jack away, and he tells Jack, he was like, dude, like, let me finish this and then we'll show up. Like, I'm sorry, but we have to do this. It's for the play, remember? And then Jack leaves. They finish their sponsored content, whatever. It's now later, and Dean is at Jack's apartment, and he brings Jack matcha as an apology. And then he also apologizes. He apologizes for, like, being late and everything, blah blah blah, you know. And then he reminds him, he was like, you know, like, you need to remember, I'm doing this for the play. I'm doing this for you, for the play. And then he makes a comment, and he's like, I just want to be your #1 actor. And I said, okay. I said, you know what, get him, girl. I said, maybe that'll make him chill out. And then it takes a turn. To where then Dean says, I hate that I have to say this right now. Dean makes a comment, and he says that he deserves to be punished. And I said, I don't really think I like where this is going right now. Yeah, so lo and behold, they do have intercourse. Yep, and it, which, I mean, you know what? Good for you, girl. And this time, low key, Jack initiated it, which, I mean, honestly, good for Dean, because Jack's the only reason why they're not dating right now. If we're honest. Also, I forgot to mention this, which is crazy. Before they had, like, started doing all that mess, Dean did make a comment. He was like, what, do you want me to, like, tell all the peoples that this is just... Oh, wait. Was it that? Or was it later? It actually might have been later. Was it later? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I think... I don't know, whatever. I'll just put it here. And just know it could have possibly been later. I don't remember. Oh, well. He makes a comment. And he's like... you know, do you just want me to tell the people, like, that this is just shipping content? Like... we're just a ship, we're not together, and that I'm actually with the director. Like, the director's the actual person I am with. And Jack was like, no, like, you don't have to, but, you know, I was like, you can tell low-key, he was kind of, he was kind of into that thought. It made him happy, and I said, okay, you know what, girl, yeah. No, it was at this moment. I do remember. Yep, correct. Boop. And then after this, later on at some point, the cast is doing like a little radio show or whatever, and the host keeps talking about Arnold and Dean's ship and whatnot. She's all for it. She's a big, huge fan. And Jack ends up interjecting at some point and makes her change the topic to the play. He wasn't putting up with that mess. And Dean did low-key dog on him later because he was like, you kind of killed the host vibe by switching it like that. Like, what's up with this whole jealousy ordeal? Girl, you need to chill out. I like you. And then he asked him, he was like, hey, does it make you upset? Because at times you feel like I'm actually interested in Arnold. And he was like, yes. Fully admitted that sometimes he feels like Dean actually likes Arnold. And he was like, I don't. See, like, that just showcases how good of an actor I am. And I said, yay. I'm scared. Because this is OnlyFriends, and in OnlyFriends, anyone can kiss anyone if they really want to. So I'm a little scared, I'll be honest. I hope we don't do that, but we probably will. So yay. Let's move on. Our next couple is going to be Raffi and Rome. So Raffi, he like calls Rome at the beginning, calls him. Rome answers and he's like, what? Like, I'm busy, I don't have time to talk. And Raffi's trying to talk to him and he said, I gotta go now, and he hangs up. And I said, honestly, you deserve that. Last episode, you told Rome that you guys were nothing, he didn't mean anything to you, and then you went to go sleep with Boston. So you deserve this. Yuck. I hate Raffi. Let's keep going. So then he watches Rome's like Instagram story, and he, in his Instagram story, had said where he'd be, like the location he's currently like DJing at that time. Which it's midday, and I know he's like a student. Does he not have class stuff right now? Whatever, not my business. Who cares? It showcases us, Rome at his little DJ thing, and he like puts his stuff down, whatever, and he goes and he starts talking to this girl, and I guess he like asked this girl to come here. Like he invited her here. Loki asked her out. They're flirting, they're chatting it up. And Raffi shows up to kill the vibe. And he like excuses Rome from the girl, and then he's talking to him and he's like, you know, come like when you're done here, come with me somewhere. And Rome tells him no. He says, no, I don't have to go with you, and I don't want to, so I'm not going to. And I said, oh, get him. You suck. Get got, loser. And then yeah, so he doesn't go with him, and then in one of those little like interview type ordeals that, as we know, happen, Rome does make a comment that he is purposely ignoring Raffi, and he was like, I don't really gain anything from this. He was like, but I'm gonna keep doing this. What are you doing, kitty? Okay. And then it showcases us, Raffi's at the bar with his friends. It is Pete's birthday. I don't know if you remember Pete. Pete is an accountant who showed up in the third episode. I think is when we finally like officially got introduced to him. I think it was the third one, I want to say. I think so, yeah. Because I remember that Boston was there, unfortunately. And it's Pete's birthday. And Pete is looking at someone from across the bar. And who is it? It's Rome. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Serve. And his friend starts encouraging him. She was like, oh my God, like, do you like Rome? And he was like, no. Like, I don't. And then they questioned Raffi about it. And they're like, aren't you friends with Rome? And he was like, no, like, we're not friends. And he was like, okay. He was like, and then they encouraged Pete. They were like, go get him. Go get Rome. Go. He could be your birthday present. Hooking up with Rome can be your birthday present. Yes, dude, go get him. Woo! So Pete goes and gets Rome, brings him back to the table. Raffi is very upset right now, by the way. He's very obviously not happy. Did my cat meow me? I lost him. I don't know where he is. I heard him though. Oh, I found him. And Rome's over there. He's making little comments or whatever, and he makes some sort of comment that makes it seem like Raffi and Rome's relationship is like there's more to it than Raffi was letting on, which there is. Raffi's just trying to be coy, be cool. I hate Raffi. So Rome makes a comment and he's like, I need to go get something for my car. And then Pete's friends encourage Pete to follow, and so he does. He's like, oh, I'll come with you. I'll go with you. And he does, and he follows him to his car. Rome is genuinely looking for something in his car, and Pete just hops to the passenger seat, just sits down. And I said, what is dog doing right now? I was very confused. I was not picking up what was really going down at the moment. I was lost. That's my bad. This is stupid of me. And then Pete encourages Rome to come sit down in the car too. And so he does. He goes and he sits in the driver's seat. And I said, what's going on right now? And then it clicked. And I said, oh my God, are we really doing this right now? Rome asked Pete, he was like, what's going on, man? Like, what's happening right now? And Pete tells him, he was like, let's hook up for my birthday. And and Rome's like, are you sure about this? Are you sure, dude? And Pete puts his hand on Rome's leg and he says that he is sure, and then he starts leaning in, and then it cuts. And we don't know what happens. Oh my goodness. No, yeah. Crazy. And then the next time we see them is at that radio show, and Raffi and Rome, they're they're standing next to each other, and Raffi's getting all these texts from his friend group, and it's Pete talking about the fact that he wants to go out drinking again. And dude, what is he doing? Stop doing that. And sorry. And his friends are low-key dogging on him a little bit, and they were like, oh, do you want to go out for the drinks, or is it you trying to go out for Rome, And he said, maybe I'm going for Rome, who knows, trying to insinuate that something did happen between them and that they slept together. And Raffi's pissed. Raffi's so angry. Loser. And after the radio show, Rome offers to take Raffi home. No, he doesn't offer to take him home. He was he offered to take him somewhere And Raffi was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to get in your car because it's clearly reserved for someone else. Passenger spot is clearly reserved for someone else, not me. And I was like, girl, are we being so for real right now? And we were, unfortunately. Yuck. So Worm's like, what are you talking about? And Raffi tells him, he was like, well, you hooked up with Pete in your car. And he said, I did not hook up with Pete in my car. And he said, I actually have proof. And then he proceeds to pull out the audio recording from his dash cam from that night. And we find out that after it cut, Rome rejected Pete. Rome was like, no, like, I don't have time to do this. Like, we shouldn't do this. You know, I gotta go DJ later. Like, I just really don't got the time. And then Pete was like, no, like, it'll be quick. Like, it's fine. He said, no. He was like, I just think this is a really bad idea. And then he gets out of the car and he leaves. And after hearing this, Raffi's not really upset anymore. And then he was like, well, then why is Pete saying that something happened between you guys? And Rome was like, I don't know. Probably just wants to tell people that he got with someone as hot as me. And I said, girl, shh, it's okay. Shh, you're good. It's okay, man. Cut that. We're good. Stop that. Actually, honestly, diva. I love to hear it. And so he takes him to an event. He takes him to a music themed event. He was like, yeah, you know, my seniors put on these shows and you don't know who's going to perform, like, until the date of the show. We both knew who it was going to be. Okay? Seniors that we care about, that we care enough to show us, we both knew what was going to happen. And it was music themed. Yeah. It was Sand and Ray. They're in the house. We're excited. We're hype. Yeah, so Sand and Ray is there. And I'm really cool and I'm really chill about it. So Sand and Ray show up. Now, I'm confused about this, and so are many other people. Sand and Ray, in this moment, when they're all chatting it up, Sand and Ray are drinking beer. Which would be fine if literally one of the biggest plot points of season 1 was about how bad Ray's alcohol problem was and him getting sober at the end. So what are we doing? What are we doing right now? I'm not happy. I'm just really confused. And to make matters worse, it's beer that they made together. Like, they brewed and made it together. They specify that. Sonic. And they also, like, yeah, they brewed and they made it together. Ray specified that the taste comes from all of his many years of drinking, and like that's how he got such a good taste. So he's an ex-alcoholic that now makes beer and he drinks it. I don't know. I just don't know how this works. How this dynamic works. Just saying. I don't know. Whatever. Not my business, I guess. Moving on. And Rome introduces Raffi to them. And Sand makes a comment. And he's like, oh, you brought your new boyfriend here to show him off? And Rome was like, no, like, we're just friends. We're only friends. We're only friends. And then Stan makes a comment, and he's like, I don't know. He said, bringing your friend to this kind of sounds like flirting to me. And he's like, no, like, we're just friends. And he was like, okay, yeah, you guys are just friends. And then once the show sorry, I got a funny text from my brother. That's not my business. When the show started, they're singing a romantic song, and Rome and Raffi look at each other, and then Rome puts his arm around Raffi, and I want you to know it then and then zooms in on San and Ray in the back, like it focuses on them, and San notices what's going on between them. He's excited about it, and he points it out to Ray, and Ray's also excited about it. They're happy to see Rome is finding plausible love. I don't know, it's only friends. I don't trust anything ever. Oops. Oh no. That's essentially what happened between them. It was kind of just them going to that show, whatever. And then now we're on to Arnold and Tua. Arnold and Tua are stressing me out, and I'm not happy about it. And this episode didn't make it any better. Like, it never got better. It only got worse and worse. And it looks like it's not getting better next episode. I saw my little preview for next week. I'm so unexcited, I can't even put it into words. Yay! I'm so happy right now. So Tua and Arnold, they're doing pottery together in the least basic way possible. It's in the most romantic way possible. They're playing, they're laughing. At some point Arnold makes a heart and shows it to Tua. At some point Arnold has his arms over Tua and is helping him do the pottery, and I was like, dude, what are we doing right now? You reject dog last episode and then you whip this out? Pick one. I'm getting pissed. Whatever, I'm not even sad about it. So. And then Arnold gets a call from Dean, and it's Dean letting him know that they have content that they have to make later, and he was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then he's telling Tua about it, and then he brings up the kiss between Jack and Dean at rehearsal that day. And he was like, dude, that was crazy the way that Jack just went for her and kissed Dean like that. And he was like, alright, well, it's Jack and Dean, what do you expect? I don't really expect anything less from Jack. And I said, oh, serve. And Arnold's like, well, that's just crazy. He was like, Jack seems so incredibly jealous. I kind of feel like Jack's gonna kill me for playing this role. And Dean was like, well, Jack just can't help himself because they're trying to be friends and they dated before, and they're still the feelings are still there. They never really fully go away. They're still in the air. Oh no. And then Arnold starts going on a tangent, and he was like, see, and that just proves my point about why you can't date friends. He was like, this just proves my point as to why you can't date friends. This is what I've been saying, is that it'll never go back to normal. You guys date, and then you break up, and then the relationship's over, and the friendship's over, and it just doesn't work, and that's why I'll never do it. Yeah, so he shot Tua straight in the face. Oh no, and Tua Tua gets a little upset about this. And then it shows us interview moments of theirs. And Tua, he's upset and he explains, he's like, I will never be able to like change Arnold's viewpoint on this. And then it's showing us Arnold's interview moment. And Arnold's upset. He's like, I set off Tua again. Like, I made him upset. I messed up. Hey, Queen. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Because he's saying it like he doesn't know why Tua is upset. Queen, are you the dumbest person alive or what? Can't trust a man to do anything. It's so upsetting. God. Arnold, unfortunately, is literally just a dude, and like it hurts. It hurts me on the inside a lot. It's okay. We'll move on. Whatever. I don't even care. I don't even care because it only gets worse. Tua is working on. Hi, kitty. He's working on the costumes for the play, and Arnold shows up, and Tua questions why he's there, and he was like, "Oh well, you know, I showed up because I knew you'd be working super hard and you wouldn't have eaten." And he was like, "I went and I got you food from this place near the Pink Pony Club." And he whatever, like they're eating together. He ends up like he looks over at Tua's food and he notices that Tua has bean sprouts, and I guess Tua doesn't like bean sprouts, and he's like, I asked him to take. Oh my god, you just scared me. My cat just jumped on the table. It scared me. Come here. And he was like, you know, I asked them to take that out and they didn't. So he was like, here, I'll take your bean sprouts. I'll eat those and you can have my shrimp. And then he starts like peeling the shrimp, and then he starts feeding Tua. And it's just a whole moment. And oh no, kitty. No, stop. She's flinging herself around on the table and she's knocking my puzzle off the table. Oh, it's what I was scared of. Poor girl. And then he apologizes to Tua. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I've been so busy, like, with the play, with Dean and the content, and with work. I haven't been able to make time for you. And Tua's like, girl, it's okay. Please. Kitty, you can sit on the table, but please don't fling yourself around anymore. Okay, you're just gonna do it anyways. It's fine. And he's like, oh, you know, it's okay. And then they're eating the food, and then it cuts, and then we come back to him. And when we come back to him, Arnold is helping Tua with the costumes and whatnot. And then he hurts himself, and then Tua takes over. And he's like, yeah, how about you don't help? Because originally he was helping because he thought it would make the whole process go by faster, but then he clearly understands that, like, it's not actually going to help at all. And dude, you're going to fall off the table. Stop. Oh my goodness. Kitty, please. I'm so sorry. This is awful. She's knocking over so much stuff. She's getting a little violent. I don't know. She's getting too into it. I'm so sorry. Please stop. And so Tua takes over and he fixes what Arnold messed up and helps him. And please stop. Okay, this is the end. This is the end, by the way. So we're at the radio show now, and after, like, please, Kitty, you're gonna knock over so much stuff, and I worked so hard on this border. Please, please, please. And so we're at the point in the radio show where Jack has cut off the host and is like, I want to talk about the show. Like, let's talk about the show. Sorry, I'm picking up the pieces that Kitty dropped. Let's talk about my show. And she's like, okay, cool. And then Timmy starts talking. And when Timmy starts talking, he makes a comment about how they can get more content of Arnold and Dean if they buy tickets. And he's like, yeah, like, you guys are all so excited. We're so excited too. Like, everyone's doing this for free, and we're all so excited, and you guys should come see it, blah, blah, blah. And immediately, Arnold Arnold, doesn't say anything, but he's so confused. And he glances over at Tua, and Tua's freaking out. Because if you remember, the whole reason why Arnold agreed to do the play is because Tua told him he'd get paid for it. But as we had already low-key figured out based on the interview moment with Tua after that happened, he was paying Arnold. And Arnold had no idea that it was Tua that was giving him the money, and that wasn't just something everyone was getting. And so this is when he finds out, and he's really upset about it. So post-interview, he's walking in a hallway with Tua, and he's pissed. He's so upset, so angry. And Tua's like, wait, no, like, I can explain. Because Arnold wants him to explain, and he questions him. He was like, how come no one else is getting paid but me? Like, what's going on here? And he's like, I can explain. And then he tells him the truth, which is that Tua didn't mean anything like bad behind it or anything like that, but like he's been the one that's been paying Arnold, and Arnold is pissed. And rightfully so, honestly, because he gets pissed at him, and he was like, you think I'm just like that money hungry? You think I need, like, you think I'm only... He gets upset because he doesn't like that Tua thinks he's so money hungry, and he feels like Tua feels sorry for him, and like that's why he's paying him. And he's like, and Tua's like, no, like, I don't feel like you're money hungry. It's like, just think of it as like a job. Like, it's fine. It's okay. And he gets really upset, and he was like, well, clearly if you're doing this and you think like this lowly of me, then you don't know me at all. Like, which I get it. Like, it makes sense for him to be upset, and especially to be upset about the fact that like the money isn't coming from the play, but that it's coming from his friend instead, who he has very confusing feelings towards at this point. But also, to be fair, he, in the beginning, only agreed to try out for the play and do it after Tua said he was getting paid. Listen, that's all I'm saying. Either way, I see both sides, and I feel like both of them... I see both sides, and definitely I feel like it is something where Arnold was obviously going to find out at some point, and like this was going to happen. And I feel like Tua probably could have been honest about it. Could have been more honest about it. But, whatever. Who cares? And later that evening, Tua is upset, and he's like looking it up on his phone, like how to make up with someone and make them not mad at you. Like because he genuinely like doesn't know what to do. And while he's looking that up, Tua gets 20,000 baht transferred into his account. because that was all the money he had given Arnold at the time. Hey, shoot me with a gun and kill me. I didn't sign up for Arnold Tua-Angst. I'm gonna be so for real. I didn't. Ah! I looked and saw next week's preview or whatever. It looks like next week the Arnold Tua-Angst Club is continuing to run. That's running. Raffi and Rome Angst. That's also going to be running. And the only ones who kind of looked fine, who looked like they were having a good time, was Jack and Dean. But if the preview actually happens, how it was kind of showcasing it to us of what might happen, it looks like they won't have fun next episode either. It looks like no one's gonna have fun next episode, and that includes me. You might have fun. I know you're living for the drama, so you're living for the drama. And I will also say, in the preview, it didn't look like Boston was there, so glad to know they could fall apart without Boston's help. Kill me. I don't know. Whatever. Also, this is the last thing I want to say. I do remember when, like, before the show came out and the people were showcasing the diagrams for, like, all the things that happen between the peoples, whether it be romantically or inappropriately. At some point, some, like, threesome is supposed to happen with Boston and two other people, and I don't remember who the two other people are, and I want you to know I remember at some point throughout each episode, and I get very, like, scared about it because I'm not excited, I'm not ready, and it sounds like I really won't have any fun when that happens. I'm worried. I'm really worried about who's gonna be in it. I won't look it up, I promise. I refuse to look it up. I don't want to spoil it for myself. I want it to be like a surprise. I want it to be one of the worst surprises I've ever been given. Yeah. Okay. That's my ending notes. I will unfortunately see you next week.